Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks Replays with Tanks for the Mammeries. Today we are watching a replay of my buddy MurderPaws. This is a Tier 8 fight on Serene Coast. He is on the North Spawn. It's a standard battle. And if you've watched any of my streams on Twitch or any of my videos on YouTube, you know that I do a lot of platooning with MurderPaws and with B00mBaby. B00mBaby's going to be in the second video that I'm bringing to you guys today. But in this first video, it's just MurderPaws. We're not platooned at all. He's by himself. He is in his Eagle 7 Premium Tier 7 American tank with a decent turret, an okay gun, in a Tier 8 fight, again, on Serene Coast, standard battle. And we're going to watch him play this. It's not the greatest fight in the world. It comes down to an absolute nail-biter at the end. And I think Murder would be the first one to agree with me to say that he is chasing this fight the entire time. So he spends a tremendous amount of his time chasing this fight. He makes good use of his tactical map. He's got good map awareness. And, sometimes RNG just does not give you the shots. I mean, he's using nothing but standard ammunition. He's got a good crew in this thing, but just sometimes RNG just does not help you out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this fight, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to talk through it a little bit along the way here, and we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to take it out of his view and into my view, and he is going to do the typical start with a tank with a decent turret and good gun depression, and he is going to head over to the one line. And already he's falling further and further behind the curve because his tank just does not have the same amount of juice that the T-77 and the T-26E have. We even have an artillery piece coming. This arty is going to be extremely either optimistic or aggressive. You can be the judge of that. He's going to die. I don't even pay attention to when it is that he dies, but he's going to come all the way over here basically to A4, while these other guys, the 77 and the 26, are already making their way up to that ridge line down there, basically the D1 area. You can see there's a T-44 coming already. There's an AMX 1375 in the middle, and Murder is making his best speed to try and catch up with these guys. Now, the problem with this is there's also a Tiger 1 over there. There's going to be an E75. There's going to be, or E75 TS, we'll just call it E75. There's going to be a TD, a bunch of other tanks hidden back here. Now, there are going to be some folks coming to help out on this side as well. There's going to be a 45 TP and an LTG that are not going to be much in this fight. Now, if I were Murder, I would have stopped right at that tree right there and started taking shots across the middle. He didn't, and now's when he realizes this 44 is actually kind of coming around and he needs to do what he can do. The Tiger's out of the picture, so they're up one heavy against the enemy. The T-77 is going to come around and try and put pay to this guy. And Murder has the opportunity right here to put a shot into him, and he does, but he sticks around too long. He gets spotted, and he blocks one. He takes one from the E-75, who is not spotted. He bounces one from the T-25, so we know that guy's back there. And they did take out that T-44, so that's great. But he now knows at least a couple of tanks that have not yet been spotted, and the 77 has got himself out of position because he's now down in the valley, and there's no good way for him to get out without getting spotted and shot. So he's kind of stuck there. The 26 is over here by himself. Murder's going to do what he can to get over here and help out. The T-25 of the enemy team is now spotted. He's going to start shooting at this AT, but here's where the gun just decides it ain't all that much, and we now spot a VK who's come out of the bushes to take this T-26 out. So the T-26 is not going to survive much longer. There's the E-75. So now 4 of the guys back there have been spotted, and Murder figures to himself, I just don't need to be the only guy up here. The LTG is coming along, the even 90, so pay attention to the even 90 on Murder's team. The Sway is going to be a hero in this game, an absolute hero. So Murder looks at his map, decides that even though the LTG is over there and the T-77 are over there, you see the LTG popped up and lost 148 hit points. So Murder's going to go ahead and start pulling back to somewhere else where it looks like he might be able to get some shots over the shoulders of these guys and help suppress the enemy tanks that are coming up on him. So he's going to pull back here, which is a good idea because now the 75 is in the hole. The 25 is up top. Let's see if I can get some better view on that. Puts a shot towards the 25, doesn't get it. Arty's helping out. He's going to try to put another shot in there. ricochets, of course. So our RNG is really helping him out here. He's going to try and put a shot at the AT-15. Not going to get a shot on that guy. Just, you know, lot of rocks and stuff over there to try and get around. He's almost had the shot on him, but he didn't. So doesn't make sense to go push down in there. He's going to stay back here and see what he can do to help that T-77 who's trying to get away. The T-77 is actually probably should have taken one and run, and he's probably not going to have much more of a chance to do that. So our even 90 is now back there. He's found their arty. He's going to start putting some pressure on that S-51. Murder takes a shot at the E-75, does not get him there. Going to try and take another shot here in a second. So he's, you know, he's trying to help that 77 out. There you go. He's got that guy. There's their 1375, who is not paying any attention to the even 90 that's in the back of their in their backfield. So he's hit the AT-15. He's going to try and get another one on the guy here. Puts another one in, so that's pretty good damage to that guy. So at this point, there's still a VK and a T-25-2 back there, and here comes the even 90. So the even 90 is out there hunting that T-25, who's now down low up front. So and he's already dead. So even 90's coming back. The VK is still out there somewhere, probably making his way up the one line. But Murder sees the map and says, look, we're about to lose those tanks on the 0 line. So now it's time for me to come back and see if I can't start helping out with Cap. He's got real good map awareness here. We just lost the KV-122. There's 4 tanks against the Oni. The Oni's probably not going to last much longer. He's already losing big chunks of health. And at this point, there is no artillery left on either team. So Murder, I wouldn't have done it, but he knows there's no artillery left. He's going to try and get a shot on the VK. The even 90 is harassing the guy. He's getting good shots in on him. Murder's going to stop here to try and take the shot. I probably would not have stopped because there are still some tanks that are unspotted at the moment, and I'm just not sure I would have stopped there. I mean, the 45 TP is in the middle. Great, yeah. But Murder's going to come up here, and now this is where things start getting interesting because he's only done 784 damage. It's not like he's done a lot, but the score is tied, right? The score is tied. So, but he's seen enough to know that it's time to come back here and start paying attention to defending the cap. Now, there's no way that VK can get a shot on him right there because the building's in the way from the last spot the VK was in, but the even 90 is still out there trying to find the guy. There's a Scorpion over there helping as well. So what's going to happen is we're going to see that VK decide to DD Mal all the way back towards their cap. He is not going to put up with that even 90 anymore. So at this point in time, we see that there's a T-34 on the bridge. Right? He just took out the 45 TP, I think. And there, look at the SU. The SU just showed up. SU just showed up and took out the T-77. So now we've seen another tank that hadn't been spotted before. So all of a sudden, it's now 4-6, and Murder's team is down 2 tanks. So here comes their Scorpion. Our Scorpion has driven all the way back around. Come all the way back around. He's going to try and take around the other side. So Murder sees the T-26, and that's when the Super Hellcat on our team starts putting rounds downrange onto the T-26. Murder gets a good shot into him. Now, this next one's going to be a really important shot. This is a really smart shot. He comes around the corner to try and take this T-26, sees the Scorpion, who was a much more dangerous target. So he takes that guy out in one shot. So that was a very smart kill. The minute he saw that guy, he decided to switch his gun from the T-26 to the Scorpion, and that probably was one of the things that saved the team there. So he decides to take one hit from that guy, but anyway, now he's got 2 guns out of the fight. Here comes the even 90 to help the Scorpion go after this T-34, and the T-34 basically he's almost full health, and watch this. Even 90 is going to start doing a drive-by, puts 2 shots into the guy. Murder comes around the corner here, puts one into him. This guy doesn't know where to shoot. The Scorpion's going to come around the backside and put one into him. Even 90 dumps a shot. Scorpion puts one in there. This is where Murder probably has a miscue. He probably should have gotten up there a little sooner and taken that shot. He missed. But the Scorpion puts another one into the guy. The T-34 is just about to die. That's when the VK comes around and Ram kills the Scorpion. But Murder, smartly, puts a shot to the VK, and then backs off. The even 90 is going to come around and take a shot, puts one into the T-34 right here. Murder puts one into the VK. The VK is stuck. Even 90 kills the VK. That guy is on fire. He's been all over this map, from killing their arty in the background to coming up here and taking on a T-34 in the face. So this is where Murder derps a shot in this guy. He's going to bounce him. I mean, it's just sometimes the RNG just doesn't give it to you. But this even 90 is going to go back and try and defend the cap. So he misses a shot there on the guy, very close, and decides that he's going to figure out what to do here. Now the even 90 is going to go back and help that Hellcat out against the KV-122. So we got the SU here in front. Murder's working on the SU. We got a KV-122 back there going after the Super Hellcat. I'm going to back this up for a minute because we're not worried about Murder at this point. Super Hellcat gets killed by the KV-122. Even 90 fires, hits him, but now he's got to reload. So he's got to run off and hope that this KV-122 doesn't kill him. In the meantime, Murder's worried about this SU up here who could, put a big, serious hurt on him, take him down to a one-shot. So he's decided now he's going to back off. Now, there was a shot over there that came in. I think it was the 122, and I don't know if he was taking a shot at Murder or what, but it didn't go in. So Murder's backing off, trying to keep the buildings between him and the other guy, and the SU was tearing that building down. So there goes the building. We know the SU is going to come around the corner. Murder's trying to take off and get out of there. Goes around this corner, and he's spotted, but the even 90 just took out that KV-122. There went a tree, so we know that Murder saw it as well. So now he's watching this guy. He's going to try and take a shot at him right here. Misses. This guy's going to hit him. Hits him in the tracks. He is so lucky. So he's going to try and take another shot now. Even 90 comes around. And that's where the luck for the even 90 runs out. That SU just had enough hull traverse to be able to take that guy out as he did his drive-by. And that's a shame because that guy was a true hero. So Murder's still spotted. The SU's coming around that side of the rocks. Murder's going around this way. I thought to myself, he knows you're going to come around this side. Don't try and get him. Don't try and sneak up behind him because he knows you're coming. So he goes wide around this rock, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but I still wouldn't do it. And then instead, he goes this way. And I was like, okay, this is really smart. This is really smart. And so he's coming around here, and right now, the base capture. So Murder knows this guy is either coming through the base to try and get him this way because he knows he's come this way, or he's on cap to draw him in. So this is where we see Murder's going around this side of the rock was the smart thing to do because this guy is actually not looking at him. He's looking around the other corner, and Murder derps the shot. So he puts it in the dirt right below the guy. Now, I don't know if it's because at this point in time his palms are getting sweaty or what, but that was a critically missed shot. So he knows he's got to take this guy. He misses him again because he's trying to track him at this point. He's trying to track him. He takes a hit for 255 from this guy. He's a one-shot kill now. He's a one-shot kill, and he tracks him. He's trying to get away from this guy. The guy repairs his tracks him again. Murder's got to do it. He's got to do it. He's got to do it. He tracks him. The guy's gun is still on him, but he's not reloaded. And at this point, gang, the fight is all over. The guy's already used his repair kit. Murder's able to sit here and just take him out, keep him tracked, and take him out. So he's going to end up with around 2,800 in damage done. The hero on his team is the even 90, the ELC even 90. That guy played a fantastic game. And shout out to the guy on the enemy team, SPC Spartan in the SU-100M1. Played a great game as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've got the post-game stats. I'll put the plates up next, and then we're going to move on to Boom Baby's video after that. So hang out for the plates. All right, so here we see Murder comes out with a very good game there. First place in XP, second place in damage done. He got a Leverschleios medal out of that. Ends up with 21,622 XP with all the pluses, bonuses, special event XP and things like that. Made 91,812 credits, mastery badge, a bunch of other things there. His win 8 was 5795, and he did 650 assisted damage and 2,841 of his own damage. Again, a really great game there. His base XP was 1351, but again with the pressers and stuff for the additional experience. He ended up with 21,622 experience. So let's go ahead and check out the second plate. All right, for the second plate here, we can see he ended up with 4 kills. Again, pretty darn good there on damage, real good on XP. A shout out again to the ELC Even 90 and the Scorpion on his team. Both those guys played outstanding games. Just really good job for them. And a shout out to the SU-100M1 SPC Spartan on the other team there. He was down at the very end. He could have pulled it off. He just ran out of luck right there at the very end. So let's check out the next plate. All right, so you guys can hit me up in the comments below, because I swore I thought he was running just standard ammunition, but he may have been just shooting premium ammunition, and I just made a mistake at the beginning of the video. But if I'm wrong, leave comments in the video below, or below the video here. But he fired 29 total shots, of which he had 19 hits, and he had 14 penetration. So he had a 50% penetration rate on the shots that he fired, which is pretty good. I mean, some RNG in that. He had a few bounces. He had a couple of duff shots in the dirt. But all in all, he had 50% penetration, which is not great, but it's not horrible. So, and on top of that, he blocked 400 damage. Again, he did 650 assistance damage, and he, did all of his own stuff there as well. So he had a very, very good all-around game. He did lose some money there. He lost about 40-something thousand in credits, but he ended up with, again, 21,600 plus XP. So, let's go ahead. Thank you for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed this fight. Again, it all comes down to the end. If you're the last man standing, then that's what counts. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next game, and that is going to be B00mBaby playing his T67 on Malinovka. So let's go ahead and jump into that. And then when that fight's over, we'll take a look at the plates at the end of his game. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and slow this down real quick, do a little introduction here. Here we are on Malinovka. It is a standard battle. It is a straight tier 5 fight. Everybody's a tier 5, but there are 3 artillery pieces on each side. And this is my friend B00mBaby. Boom is a relatively new player. He doesn't have a whole bunch of games behind him. And in this video, he is going to make a number of mistakes. It's still going to be a great game. He's going to have a really good game. And he understands the fundamentals of the game. Where he's still just lacking a little bit is in applying those fundamentals in every situation well. So he's in his T67. He's got a good crew in this vehicle. He really likes the T67, and it's a good vehicle. But one thing I'd like to just point out real quick as we start this fight is, if you look down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, his map is very, very small. And I think that's going to be one thing that, if he can make that map a little bigger, it's going to help him be more tactically aware as the game goes on. But in this case, he likes keeping a small map down there. I get it. But I think that would be one thing that would help him out. I'm going to point out some things for players, newer players, to be aware of as they're playing the game. Again, he has a really good game. He's a super good friend of mine. I love the guy to death. But he'd be the first to admit that he's still learning, and he still has some things that he needs to get better at. And I'm going to kind of point some of those out in this game. And God knows I still make the same mistake. So here we are in the beginning. Malinovka, otherwise known as Kampanovka. And the play that he's about to make is a very high-risk, high-reward play. And it doesn't always work. And we're going to see it not work. Because if you do this right, it is a fantastic play. If you get it wrong, it is a very painful and fast way to die. And those are usually the 2 results of this play. You die quick, or you do a great job, and it's just a monster game. So we're going to watch what he does. There's a series of bushes in the middle that separate the 2 sides. And typically, if you're fast enough and if you've got balls, you can make this run straight across the middle. The thing about it is, he goes through the gap, and when he does, he opens himself up to the gap in front of him, and then he has to turn to get behind this thing, and he doesn't want to overshoot it, so he stops short. And then he turns. And the problem with that is he's now spotted by this T67 over here. He didn't get in the bushes. and he sticks around too long. If he had gotten in those bushes, he probably would not have been spotted, and instead he's just getting shot at by everybody. Artillery takes a shot at him. Both our two artilleries take a shot at him, and he gets out, with about half of his health, a little less than half his health, and that is not optimum, especially in the start of the game. Both teams have lost one side. So let me go back to his camera view. He is zoomed in on this guy. He missed that first shot because the guy got tracked. He was leading him properly. The guy got tracked and he missed the shot. The rest of them were just either RNG didn't help him out or he just missed the shot. So let's take a look at this. Now, he's going to pull up into the bushes, right? The problem is, he pulls too far forward. He's not in the bushes anymore. He's sticking half of his vehicle out of the bushes, which means if anybody has binos, he's going to get spotted. And I'll also say this. He is so zoomed in, and his map is so small, he can't really see tactically what's going on. And he decides at this time to pull out into the middle without any coverage at all and continue to take shots at this leopard again. The leopard knows he was spotted. And if I were Boom, I would not have done that. In this bush, he's going to come up to here. He's going to kind of get into it. But he's been spotted. Let me pull out here. He's been I guess he's double bush. That's fine. But if there's anybody on that side that saw him moving around, he's a flank shot, easy kill. So let's go back to his position. Now, he's going to do something that I would never recommend doing. And that is, he is going to go right back into the middle. And we know there's still tanks on the other side. We know that. Because they're getting shot at by more people than just the that TD that's down there in the hole. And the AT2. So he pulls back up in the middle. And he's going to start shooting. Now, the problem is, as we all know, let me go and pause this here real quick. As we all know, you pull up into the bushes, you may be hidden, but if you start firing, then the bush camouflage goes away. He is not pulled back far enough to shoot through the bush without being spotted. So, in the case of, like, the Matilda Black Prince over there, he's double bush, and that's fine. Same with the Valiant. He is currently double bush. Let me go back to his view. He's really zoomed in here. So we're in his view now. He's really zoomed in, and he's not paying attention to the other vehicles that are being spotted. And because he is sticking through the bush, even though he's double bushed against the Matilda Black Prince, if there is anybody else over there who's not in the bush, they will see him shooting. And he's got his scroll so far because he's so zoomed in. At this point, he should be pulling back out to allow for quicker acquisition of targets that are not in your current view range or frame of reference, right? So he's so busy on this guy that he missed the Black Prince coming up and getting spotted again, or he would have had shots on that guy. So the scores are still pretty close. There's only one tank difference between the two at this point in time. He missed a shot on the Valiant, but you see him having to move his mouse back and forth like this. He's taking a lot of time trying to scroll back and forth to be able to shoot things. And he is not in the bush. He is sticking through the bushes. Or he's firing through the bushes as opposed to being pulled back to where they're opaque. So he is about to get spotted, and it's going to be because eventually this Matilda Black Prince is going to drive by. And when Boom takes this shot, he has now been spotted because he was firing through the bush. Now, it's not going to hurt him here. He's going to get out of it. He took one hit from the P-43. He's going to be able to get away. But Artie is also aware of him. So again, he's got a long way to drive to get safe. And if that 43 had wanted to take another shot at him, he could have gotten at least one more shot into him. So that was probably not the thing to do. And now, in the amount of time we've had to talk about that, their team has lost 6 vehicles. So it's now, they've clawed one back. It's 5-9. He's decided he's going to go over here and help this LaFoe because he saw on his map that the hill has now been defeated and there are a couple of heavy tanks coming down that hill. So he's trying to find a spot where he can get into some cover. He wants to use the cover. Again, he's applying the fundamentals here to get under cover, but he's too far back, and he can't help the LaFoe or spot anybody coming down the hill from where he is. He's got to get closer, but he doesn't want to stay all the way in the woods because you just can't see anything. So he's trying to pull up, find another place, and he sees a heavy tank. That's great, but he's sticking through this bush. Now he's got another one in front of him, and of course the heavy tank is in the woods. But this is more than a specific instance where he's done that. So remember, you've got to stay in your bush or behind your bush. And if you're double bush, that's fine, firing at things off in the distance, that's great. But he is about to zoom back in. He's going to be in zoom mode, right? He's going to see this guy over here. He can't kill him. Now all of a sudden, what's going to happen is he had to scroll way over there to find that guy. Now, but he's got good use of the bushes here. That guy's never going to see him. He can fire down the reciprocal, he could, but this guy's never going to see him. So he's just going to start putting shots in, trying to save his artillery piece. Doing a good job here, keeping on target. He is only using standard rounds at this point in time. So he leaves a guy on 4 hit points. Can you believe that? 4 hit points. But he's been spotted. Time to run, because guess what? Artie's going to take a shot at him. There it comes. There's one. Is there another one? I can't remember if there's another one or not. There's a second one, yeah. So he knew enough to get out of dodge once he got spotted. That's really smart, because Artie was already back there looking for the artillery on Boom's team. So good for him. Now, he's going to do another thing here, which I would not do while there's 3 still artillery left in play, and that is stop in the middle of this field, because somehow he had been spotted before. Somebody had spotted him. I don't think it was the KV-1. So wherever that other guy spotted him from, it could have been the KV-1. To get out here in the middle of the field like this and just sit there and take shots at that 25 TP is probably not something I would recommend doing. So now on our team, the 67 is shooting across at that guy. Artillery kills him. Good stuff. He's dead. What's that leave up here? Nothing is on the hill. So he's going to run back around to the other side, because on the other side spotted is that P-43. And I think that was the guy that spotted him in the woods back there. So he is now going to make his way across. And I thought what he was going to do was come up here and use this ridgeline to take shots at this P-43, because the 67's in trouble already. Our artillery is being a hero, trying to take that guy out. And we only have 1 artillery piece left and these 2 67s. So he pulls up here, and Artie takes this guy out, because the 43 probably would have killed Boom had he come across. Now he stopped again. I don't know why he stopped here in the middle of this field. He's going to take 3 shots at this guy, because 1 bounces. Going to take this next shot. It's going to kill him, but he's got to move, because look what's about to happen. 1, 2. Right where he was, he would have been dead. If he'd waited a split second longer, he'd have been dead. He should not have been firing from the middle of the field. So at this point in time, the scores are tied, but the enemy team has 3 artillery pieces left. And this is where Boom is going to do a lot more application of cover and concealment. And I get it, because he's now realized it's the end of the game. He's done really well. He's got 1,472 damage, plus another 1,138 spotting. He is having a really good game, aside from the fact that he's, been very aggressive and risky with his play. He's in an excellent game. So all power to him for that. He's going to use this building, little cover here, and then all of a sudden, the LaFoe pops up. So rather than go forward and shoot, which gives artillery on the enemy team the chance to shoot him from there, he's going to be very smart, pull back here and start taking some shots. Takes a blind shot, because the guy disappears right as he's ready to fire. Shows back up again, starts putting some shots into him. It's over for this guy. He's now up to 1,600 damage, 1683. Kills the LaFoe. Or, well, he doesn't kill the LaFoe, because the Artie shot comes in and takes him out, but he got everything but the last 11 hit points of this guy. So now, I wouldn't do this, necessarily. I wouldn't run through the middle of the field. I mean, it's Artie. They probably don't have great vision. I get it. But nevertheless, don't make it easy on yourself. So, or make it easy for them. So he pulls up behind this building, and that's cool. He's just run through cap, so they know where he is. They know he's near the cap circle, and they know that now that he's out of cap, he is gunning for them. So they should be focused on this side exclusively. And he's going to make another one of these slight mistakes by pulling too far forward in this bush. He's pulled through the bush. He's trying to back up. He's still just pulled too far forward through the bush. So if there was Artie that could have any spotting at all, they would get him. Now, he's going to come around and help this guy out with a Gorilla. Gorilla puts the other T-67 out of play, right in the face. Murder tracks this guy twice. Boom tracks him twice. Gets the shots in on him, and there's going to be a kill here. There we go. So, 1 guy left. He is now up to 1,785 damage, and he's going to make a really good play. Now, I would not stop where he stops, but he's going to make a really good play, and he's going to hold back, and he's going to let this fight develop at the very, very end. So we still got 4 minutes left. He spots this guy. He doesn't see right where he is. I don't know if he was looking at the map or looking at something else, but he didn't quite see right where he was. Let me go to his view. He just sees the top of the gun. He calls in artillery, and that's the end of that fight. So I've got the plates for this one as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. He ends up with 1,785 of his own damage and 1,449 spotting. I've got his in plates. I'll put those up at the end. But a really good game, even though he made some mistakes in there. He played really aggressively and he had a lot of risky plays. In the end, he pulled it out. He did a really good job, and he had 105 hit points more than he needed to win the game. So good on him for this. Congratulations, Boom Baby, on that one. Let's get to the plates, and I appreciate you guys watching. All right, so here we've got the first plate for Boom Baby's game there on Malinovka. You see he got a high caliber out of that game. He made 15,489 credits with all of the daily bonus credits and extra XP and all that sort of stuff, and I believe he applied his manageable bonus to experience there on this one as well. First class mastery badge. He got first place in XP, first place in damage done. Very good win 8 game for him there. Increased his mark of excellence on this vehicle. I know he's trying to get some marks on it. So just a really good fight for him. He had 3 kills there and a tremendous amount of assist because he helped with Artie and things like that. So very good game for him. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second plate here. So at the end of this, you can see that he has he and the artillery, he and the Le Feu were the last 2 vehicles alive in the game, and that's what counts. The Le Feu had a fantastic game. I think it's touchy trigger. Ended up with 5 kills, which is a very decent game. It's not an outstanding game, but it's a very decent game for Le Feu. It happens a good bit in that artillery piece. And Boom came up with 3 kills of his own there, and his base XP was 1147. So good for him. The T-67 on his team also the other T-67 did a pretty darn good job there with 4 kills. I mean, between them, the team basically just took out everything there was to take out. So good job for those guys. And if the other 67 had not got punched in the face by that gorilla at the end of the fight, who ended up being top damage done on their team, he probably would have taken home at least one of those other artillery pieces, the gorilla and quite possibly the other M41 or whatever it was on their team. So good job to him. And let's take a look at the last plate here. All right, so you can see that he had 40 total shots fired. 25 or so of those were hits. 20 were penetration, so he had a 50% pin rate there. 2,200 something damage done. About 1,200 of that or 1,100 of that was from a distance of more than 300 meters, which is what a TD is supposed to do. He also did 1,500 plus in spotting damage, which is very, very good. So combined overall of 20, 23, and 15. I mean, it's damn near a 4,000 damage game on that one. So very, very good for him. And in the end, he actually made money because he had 46,000 something credits. Once he resupplied his ammo, he had about 13,300 plus surplus of credits there. So good for him on that one. And he ended up with 15 something thousand XP when it's all said and done. He got the original 1,700 or so. Then he has ×3. Then he had some event extra bonuses there. So all in all, very good game for him. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. This is Tanks for the Mammeries, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you, everybody.